Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Hey there guys, what's going on? Hope you are well. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have not got another roundup of the biggest news from the CDL and the RLCS because we've got something way more important to talk about. Yes, that is right, it is official. LA Thieves is a new team in the CDL for the 2021 season. It has been fully unveiled on Twitter with a new Twitter account called the LA Thieves, and I'm going to get straight into it. Here is the trailer that Nadeshot put up on that account.
Thank you guys so much for watching another 100 Thieves Content House video.
Another W. I'm working my way back up the leaderboards from Matthew Haig.
Another banger shoot today, man. We're gonna have some drinks and celebrate. You trying to hang out?
Nah, man, I'm sorry. I can't.
Come on, bro. I promise you it's not going anywhere.
I have to make sure. One more time. We got a little momentum going now. Dude, they haven't even done a tick of damage on me yet.
Oh, someone's coming back. What's up, bro? Oh, he's got a gun.
Somebody just shot at me. I see him. We go again. Simple as that. I'm gonna queue up here real quick and we're gonna get, you know what, boys? I gotta go check on something really quickly, all right? So y'all take it easy. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. See ya.
Yo, Matt.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all led up to this. I give you your LA Thieves.
So yeah guys, there you go, that was the trailer, and honestly I am so excited about this new team in the CDL. It has been like so long coming. We've had this tease for us for a few weeks now, literally like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We've had tweets from Kenny, we've had tweets from Nadeshot, we've had tweets from TJ Halley, and finally it has been officially unveiled. LA Thieves will be a new team in the CDL for the 2021 season. And I'm so excited. Like honestly, this tweet was put out about 2.5 hours ago, and honestly, like it's just this video has got 1 million views already. This trailer is absolutely incredible. The thing we've been waiting for so long, probably the biggest news we're going to get before the start of the new CDL season. So yes, LA Thieves has been officially unveiled by 100 Thieves on Twitter and an official YouTube video as well, which we are going to go into in a minute. So the roster for the moment will be made up of the old Optic roster, which is of course TJ Halley, Slasher, Kenny and Draza. However, Draza will be dropped to the bench. That has been unveiled by 100 Thieves on Twitter as well. I'll put that tweet up on the screen now. They will be looking over the next few weeks for a fourth player. But yeah, I cannot believe it's finally happened. It's like, it's so weird because we all knew it was coming, but even though we all knew it was coming, it's still exciting to see, and it's still amazing to see this team actually be a team in the CDL. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy. The big thing we got to talk about is that Kenny and Slasher are returning to the 100 Thieves roster. They were a part, of course, of that original 100 Thieves roster back in Black Ops 4. After a year out of being on that roster, they are back. Of course, on that roster, they did finish second at the World Championships. They finished second to E United. Of course, that team with E United had Simp, Clayster, Pristini, Arcetiz, and Abizi. It's probably one of the best teams to ever win Call of Duty, and they're still, up there now with the Atlanta FaZe, of course, with Arcetiz, Abizi, and Simp. And then you've got Clayster on the New York Subliners, who, of course, did, again, win the World Championship 2 years in a row last year with the Dallas Empire. And as well, Pristini, who is now on the Seattle Surge. But forget about those teams for now, because we are talking about 100 Thieves. It's honestly crazy. Mental stuff going on right now. Like Nadeshot released a YouTube video, which we're going to go through now. So we made a YouTube video with the COO of 100 Thieves, John Robinson, and they've discussed quite a few things in this video, so we're going to go through the main points of the video. So of course, the first thing that Nadeshot described in the video was not having a Call of Duty team for the last year with 100 Thieves. He described that as being a massive hole in his career. He actually specifically described it as a gigantic hole in his life, and of course, it's probably true. Nadeshot is a massive person in the Call of Duty community. Of course, he's one of the, used to be called the COD father. There's no one else who's really called that. You got the King Scump and then the COD father, Nadeshot, and back on the old Optic team. But yeah, you have to admit, a massive hole for Nadeshot, and it is really good to see him here. And the next thing they mentioned in the video, and this was John Robinson, who, as I said before, is the COO of 100 Thieves, and he mentioned the fact that the staff had been blown up on all socials about if they were getting a Call of Duty team. So he mentioned Reddit, he mentioned YouTube, he mentioned Discord, he mentioned like everything, like Twitter, of course. They were getting blown up by everyone asking them if they were going to get a pro Call of Duty team, and now they have it. Now they have a CDL franchise. They literally all year long they've been being blown up, and it's finally come true, and it is honestly incredible. It's the biggest news we've had in this offseason so far, and it probably will be the biggest news we have in this offseason, and it's completely crazy right now. And the next thing they mentioned in the video was they mentioned the reason why they didn't want to buy a team, and this is actually very interesting. And the reason why they didn't actually buy a team last season, because of course they were in talks to buy a team last season, was mainly because the 2 LA spots were taken up, of course, by Optic Gaming LA and the LA Gorillas, meaning that if 100 Thieves did buy a team, they wouldn't be able to be called the LA Thieves like they are now, of course, because Optic's spot is gone. But there is something interesting about Optic Gaming, which I will go on to a bit later. But right now, yeah, they didn't want to buy a team at the start of last season because they didn't want to be called something that wasn't LA. They mentioned specifically they didn't want to be called like Milwaukee or Phoenix or something like that. And originally as well, they were going to be called the Burglars instead of the Thieves, because obviously they thought they wouldn't be able to name themselves after their organization. But of course, after seeing teams like Optic and seeing teams like FaZe being called themselves the same names as their organizations, they realized that they could get away with it, and that's why they went into it this season. So it is really, really good to see them back in the CDL. It's amazing. The next point they made in this video is that Mud Dog would become the general manager of the team. Of course, Mud Dog was an original Call of Duty player. He's been on 100 Thieves for a while, and he's returned. He's going to be the general manager for the CDL team. Next thing that Nadeshot said in the video was that he wanted to make the branding for the LA Thieves, which I'll put on the screen now. It's probably be in the thumbnail as well, so you've probably seen it on Twitter. But he wanted to make the branding for the LA Thieves less like an actual logo, and wanted to make it, for esports specifically, and wanted to make it more like, feel like more like LA as a whole. And he mentioned in the video how he wanted it to be like, if you saw someone wearing it in the street, you wouldn't think immediately it was from esports. You just think it was a clothing brand, which is, I think, is quite funny when you think about the tweets from Hastro a few days ago where he was having that beef with Ocelot and Nadeshot on Twitter about him selling hoodies, and in a way sort of living up to that. But of course, no disrespect to LA Thieves here or 100 Thieves, because honestly, I'm so excited that this team is back in the CDL. It is incredible to see these guys back. Next thing that Nadeshot said is he also revealed, and this is very, very interesting news, that 100 Thieves will also have a Warzone and COD mobile roster, but he did say that he would not be one of the players on the Warzone roster, seeing as, he's had too many conflicting things with 100 Thieves. He has to do too much stuff, so he's not going to be part of that Warzone roster. But 100 Thieves will have a Warzone and COD mobile roster, which is a very interesting thing for the new season. It's going to be great to see these teams battling it out in the CDL, in whatever's happening with Warzone and whatever happening with COD Mobile. So yeah, it'd be good to see these 100 Thieves teams going out there. One thing I will say that is very interesting about this YouTube video that Nadeshot did with, of course, the CEO of 100 Thieves, is he also mentioned in the video that to his talks with Activision, he said that Activision have mentioned a lot of things that are going to be making the CDL a lot better for the following season. He didn't actually give away what those surprises were. He said, I don't want to give away the surprise, which is fair enough. It is quite annoying for us, obviously, being fans waiting to see what it is. But apparently the CDL's got a lot of good stuff planned for the year. He mentioned the word specifically, which I want to focus on, which is interactive, which is a very good word. It shows, we're going to be able to sort of mix in with the CDL in some way or another, which is a nice thing to hear, because of course CDL, brilliant, massive company, Activision, if they're trying to get the fans involved apparently. So according to Nadeshot, we're going to have a very good season of the CDL, which is very good look going forward for the professional Call of Duty scene. And if we can get involved in the CDL, that is brilliant news. Of course, again, he didn't actually reveal what these things were. And I think it's probably for the better that he didn't reveal what these things were, just in case he didn't offend or, get in trouble with anyone at Activision, especially just after he's bought a team from them. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what those things are. And it's exciting to hear that these things are being integrated. So yeah, this YouTube video gave us a lot of information about the 100 Thieves takeover and the new team. And it'll be incredibly exciting to see how they get started in the CDL. One thing that I want to quickly add in this video, which is quite an interesting thing, is you see this tweet here from Glitch. This was retweeted by the CDL Intel. That's how I saw it. You can see here the Paris Legion is no longer listed on the COD League YouTube channel, which honestly makes a lot of sense, because obviously the Paris Legion were facing a lot of troubles with, financially. They weren't making a lot of money. As I said in the last video, I mentioned it in there. Admin of the Paris Legion and the Paris Eternal said that it'd been a non-profitable year for those teams. So, of course, they might be out of the CDL, apparently, according to this. But more interestingly, LA Thieves has, of course, been added, but Optic Gaming and the Chicago Huntsmen still remain, which is quite an interesting thing. It's very, very interesting. It's very bizarre as well, to be honest. Like, I retweeted this saying this is just so bizarre. How are Optic Gaming and Huntsman still there? Does this mean that Optic Gaming are going to be staying in the CDL? Does this mean we're going to have 3 LA teams in the CDL this year? Does this mean that Huntsman aren't going to be overtaken? It's so random. It makes no sense how Optic are still there, LA Thieves are still there, Chicago Huntsman are still there. Makes sense that Paris Legion aren't there, but this is just an interesting thing to think about, and we'll have to see what happens with this as we go on throughout the weeks, because this really doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. We'll have to see what happens with these teams, because I just don't get how Optic Gaming is still on there. Of course, they've been overtaken by the LA Thieves. Of course, Hex has overtaken them as well. Rebought Optic. He's reclaimed the branding. And the Chicago Huntsmen were rumoured to become the Chicago Optic, but maybe at this stage this won't happen. It's very bizarre. We'll have to see what happens over the next few weeks, because this is incredibly interesting. Now, I said before, this might actually be just a big mess up from Activision, but honestly, it doesn't seem that way. So we'll really have to see what happens over the next few weeks. Maybe Optic will be getting a new roster. Maybe we'll have 3 LA teams going into the next CDL season. Maybe the Huntsman won't be getting the Optic branding. We really don't know at this time. So we're going to have to see what happens. But yeah, of course, the big news for now is that LA Thieves are back in the league. But this is a very interesting thing that we might have to recover over the next few weeks. Also, guys, another bit of a little story is here from Kenny. And this is that he's going to be changing his name back to Kenny for the new CDL season. I think everybody thinks this is a good idea. Of course, last year he had the name Quavo. And I think throughout the start of the season, I think Maven was struggling with that a little bit. So going into this new CDL season in CDL 2021, Kenny will be changing his official gamer tag back to Kenny. So here we go. This is the tweet they put out about him changing his name. Also, I've decided that next year I'll be going back to Kenny for the league instead of Quavo. The initial idea was so that I could lean more towards my brand, but it also just didn't sound right hearing Quavo on stream. I hope you guys understand and continue to support. And yeah, sure, of course we will continue to support Kenny. I think it's honestly better that he stays with Kenny, because honestly, I think Quavo, it just didn't really stick, even from the first week of the CDL. Like, honestly, it just didn't sound right, did it? Even from the Minnesota event. Of course, in the comments we hear Attach saying, I think we were all ready for you to change it back. Kenny responded with, LMAO, to be fair, I asked the league to change it after the first event, and it didn't happen. So yeah, even after the first event of the CDL, even Kenny wanted to change it. It wasn't only us guys, even Kenny himself wanted to change it back to Kenny. But at the end of the day, of course, that didn't end up happening. He was stuck with Quavo for the rest of the season. But I think this is great. We've got the old 100 Thieves roster back. We've got Slasher. We've got Kenny back on 100 Thieves. And it won't be Quavo back on 100 Thieves either. It will be Kenny back on 100 Thieves. Then we have TJ Halley. And of course, the fourth, which, it could be Temp, could be Slacked. I've heard talk of both of those players. We don't really know who it's going to be as of yet. We'll see over the next few weeks, I'm sure, because Nadeshot did say the new player would be revealed soon. So it shouldn't be too long until we see who the fourth is for the LA Thieves. But of course, Draza as the sub. We got Mud Dog as the general manager, and they have sorted out a coach as well. Nadeshot did say that in the video. So we'll have to see what happens over the next few weeks for this LA Thieves team. But honestly, it is just so exciting to see LA Thieves back in the CDL. It is so great to see them back. I've missed them so much. Like, their 100 Thieves team back in Black Ops 4 was unbelievable. You had Octane, Priester, Slasher, Enable, and Kenny. Of course, they did finish second, as I mentioned earlier in the video, to E United at that World Championships. But I think any team would have finished second to that E United at that World Championships. They were undeniably brilliant. Of course, it was only the last hurdle that they fell at, and I can definitely see them doing well this season. I really wish them all the best, and honestly, this is probably going to be the team that I'm following the closest. Really like this 100 Thieves team, and it's really exciting to see that they are coming back into the Call of Duty League with such a good team. So yeah, guys, that is going to wrap up this video. The biggest news of the offseason so far has finally arrived. 100 Thieves are finally back into professional Call of Duty with the new team, the LA Thieves, overtaking Optic Gaming LA, or Well, actually, maybe not. We'll have to find out with that one. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe if you are new, and leave a like, and leave a comment for anything you would like me to cover in future videos. If I've missed anything in the previous videos, of course, there wouldn't really be much I've missed in this video, as I've only covered one topic. I mean, I can't wait to see how our 100 Thieves do in the first week of the CDL season. Of course, we don't actually know when the CDL season is going to start, but as soon as we do know, I will inform you guys. But yeah, it's going to be incredible to see these guys back. Incredible to see Slasher and Kenny back on 100 Thieves, and TJ Hallian, whoever their fourth is going to be. And Draza, of course, if he gets subbed in at any time throughout the season. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, of course, as I said before, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment of anything I've missed. And I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.